Okay, so we're going to talk about the deals page now. The main thing that you want to remember about deals in Pipedrive is deals equal orders. These are the orders at this point. We're using deals as the orders from Selectus. So the only way, or the way to get there is to click on the deals page right here. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is you must be in list view. These other views up here, it's like a pipeline view, and then there's a deal forecast view. We just really don't use that. So whenever you're looking at deals, always make sure that you're in the list view here. The next thing we'll talk about is editing the column information. This is important in this one because in most orders that we have, there's a lot of information that we'd like to see at a glance. Talk about this in previous videos, but the first thing you need to do to be able to edit any of this information, if you want to see more or less, remember, just follow left to right all the way over to this gear icon right here, and we can change the information that we want to see. If you want to get rid of some things, you just take it out. But if you want to add some things, let's say I want to see the bill to company and I want to see the consignee. I would click that and I would click save. But I'm just going to keep these the way they are right now. The other way to change this information is I've moved these around to where I want them to be. I like having pipeline first so I can see if it's a completed or a quote, the order number, what the company was, the contact. But let's say you want to move this around a little bit. You want the date over here. All you have to do is grab the title and move it over to where you want it. That's how you can kind of change this information to how you want to view it. The other thing is sometimes your screen might be a little bit smaller and you want to see more information over here and you want to squeeze this information down. You can just put your cursor over the line here and then just squeeze it down to how small you want to see it. I normally just like to see what the title is. That's why I kind of pull these things out. But that's how you will manipulate the column information. The other thing is sorting the column information here. There's a couple different ways to sort, a couple different ways you might want to sort. The first thing might be by date. One thing to remember for Pipedrive is the shipment date equals deal closed on in Pipedrive. So when you're creating filters in the future, deal closed on is when you're trying to create a date range, use this title for information, deal closed on. I think right now it might actually be filtered that way or sorted that way. If I click on the title, it will go it'll go to the most recent and then go down to the least recent. And you can just click it again and it'll go the opposite way. I think right now this filter is just for 1 week ago. So we're just looking at the last week of orders right now. The next thing we might want to do is pro note entries. Pro note entries, this lets us know how many notes are in a order. You might want to sort it this way because if there's an order with 49 notes in it, that probably means something went wrong. So you're going to want to know that sometimes, and you'll be able to take a look at the order number here, and you can look it up in Selectus. Or another way to look at all those notes will be to click on the title right here. The title of that order. So I'll click on that. It'll open up a new page, and here's all of the notes from that order. It's a lot. It's hard to look at. So if there's a lot of notes, my recommendation would be to get the order number and look at it in Selectus. It's just easier to read. So that's the pro notes. The last way you might want to look at it would be like by value or by total miles. Maybe you want to reach out to a customer who like hooked us up with a huge run. Let's see who the people were. We can bring it up here. The green one right here, $4,900 on a run. I mean, I might want to reach out to that customer and say, hey, thanks so much. How did it go? You could also do it by miles too. We can change that, and now we can see the longest run that we had was over 2,000 miles with JB Hunt. I might want to reach out, say thanks, see how it went, see if they were happy. It did have 17 notes. It's just something to kind of make sure you're seeing the orders that you want to see and not let them slip through the cracks. The next thing we'll talk about is exporting all this information to Excel. You may have a customer who wants a report. You could pull up, for example, let's say I want to do orders by company and date. I'll click on orders by company, and this one I think it's Watchery Industries from 6 months ago. They say, hey, can you give me a report for 6 months ago? Just change this information here, put Watchery in, and now I have all this information. To export this information to an Excel spreadsheet, all you have to do is just click these 3 dots right up here. Export filter results. You click on it, it'll always be Excel is highlighted first, and that's what we want to use. Click export, and then click download. It downloads, open it on up, and here's the information. Enable editing, and now you can kind of make it look nice and pretty for the person. Space it out, do whatever you need to do, change the titles, and then you can print this off or send it to them. The last thing we'll talk about is just how to view order details. I kind of touched on this when we were talking about Pro Notes, but if you want to see more information of a certain order, you need to make sure that you have the title column information here. The title is kind of like the deal or the order name, and that's how you would get to the information. So you just click on the title of that specific deal, and then here's all the information for it. We can see who's the shipper, who's the consignee, all the information, who booked it. If there's another carrier other than Young Express, it would be right here. It's just how to view all the order details other than jumping into Select This.